Hey everyone, this is Lori as usual. It's a Move It Monday, June 26, 2017, for those of you who want to know what day we're on. And we are going to be talking about a bunch of fun stuff tonight. And we have three wonderful JAFRA leaders who are here to share with us: Linda Potter-Lint, Gina O'Neill, and Donna Hayes. So to kick us off, we have Linda Potter-Lint. I do want to let you guys know as we're going, I'm going to be muting you if there's sound while the girls are talking. We will have Q&A afterwards. You'll have plenty of time to ask questions. If they ask if there's questions, feel free to jump on and answer and ask questions, but I'm going to let them kind of run the meeting, and I'll be watching sound and watching the chat box for questions. So have fun, and let's learn and hear from our friends. Go, Linda.
Hi, ladies. I'm Linda Potter-Lint. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm a manager. We'll be talking to you tonight about fragrances. So how many of you like to accessorize your outfits? Like your jewelry, your shoes, other accessories? Well, fragrance is an important accessory. It completes our outfits. Just as we wear different outfits every day based on our mood, we can wear different fragrances based on our mood. It's fun to have a wardrobe of fragrances to choose from each day. And another reason we want to do that as well, have you ever worn a fragrance and after a while you couldn't smell it anymore? Well, that's another reason why we want to have several fragrances, because our senses get used to it. And then we end up putting on more and more and driving people away instead of doing what we want the fragrance to do. Fragrance evoke an emotional connection. Sometimes it's a memory, sometimes it's a feeling. Smell is the most powerful of our five senses. We send a nonverbal communication about how we're feeling that day based on the perfume we choose to wear. Playful and fruity, confident and self-assured, soft and sensual. JAFRA's fragrances are created in the top 3 perfume houses in the world. The fragrances are created with a combination of natural and synthetic ingredients. Examples of natural ingredients include flowers, herbs, citrics, barks, wood, fruits, and spices. Synthetic ingredients are aromatic chemicals created in the lab to enhance, complement, and set the perfume. There are 4 main categories of perfumes based on the concentration of their essential oils. Body mist or body spray is 3% essential oils. It's a rich touch of fragrance to apply after showering or for refreshing throughout your day. Eau de Rome is an example of a body spray. Eau de Cologne is 5 to 9% essential oils. Many of our men's fragrances are colognes. Eau de Toilette is 10 to 14% essential oils. It is the most used form by the fragrance industry. Its potency lasts 2 to 4 hours depending on the person. Blends and double nature are examples of Eau de Toilette. Eau de Parfum has the highest concentration of essential oils at 15 to 18%. It's the most expensive style of fragrance. Its potency lasts 3 to 5 hours, and then some of them can even last as high as 8 hours. Atterisse, Paris Moi, and Diamond's Blush are examples of Eau de Parfum. All right, now picture a pyramid. Each fragrance has an olfactory pyramid with 3 levels of aromatic notes. Top notes, or head notes of the pyramid, are what we smell first, but then disappear. These notes are fresh. They're citric, herbal, floral, greens, marine, and fruity. The heart, or body notes of the fragrance pyramid, are the soul and personality of the perfume. These notes become stronger as the top notes disappear. It usually takes about 20 minutes or so for these notes to fully develop. They include floral, spicy, woody, and leather characteristics. Finally, we have the bottom or base notes of the pyramid. These notes are rich and deep. They last the longest and give final identity to the perfume. These notes are animalistic, musk, amber, and sweet powdery in nature. They appear usually after 30 minutes. By the way, the animalistic and musk are created in the lab and not taken from animals. JAFRA's fragrances fall under 4 main fragrance personalities. Floral, which is elegant and classic. Floral green, which is modern femininity. Floral oriental, intriguing glamour. And floral fruity, playful and exuberant. In a few minutes, Gina will share with you how to find your best fragrance personality. A couple of final fun notables. Where is the best place to spray your fragrance? One suggestion I read is to spray your hairbrush, then run your brush through your hair. The aroma will last for hours and your hair will smell wonderful. Another suggestion is multiple pulse points: ankles, behind our knees, neckline, and wrists. And finally, layer your fragrance whenever possible with the same fragrance scent of body lotion or body cream. Next, Gina O'Neill is going to share how to party with JAFRA fragrances. Take it away, Gina.
Hello, everybody. My name is Gina O'Neill. I'm from Rochester, Minnesota, and I'm here to show you how to have a quick party with fragrances. So how many out there has anybody done a fragrance party before? No? Would you be interested in learning how? All right, really cool. Super easy. So we have these new fragrance guides. Can everybody see those? So what I do for a fun fragrance, you can do it alone, or you could do it with a foot party. You could do it with a color party. It doesn't take very long. So this is what's so fun about it, is that I usually will take one from each category that Linda had mentioned, 4 categories: floral, floral green, floral oriental, and floral fruity. So anyways, and then I also look at the monthly brochures, and I want to feature at least what's in the brochure, because you want to offer the best prices, because we're women. We're always looking for savings, right? So especially the one that you can get 3 for $66. That's pretty cool. So anyways, what I do for a party, for instance, in the first section, if everybody can see it, it's in the floral. So for instance, this is offered as a special in the June book, and it's our L'Amore, correct? So everybody knows what that smells like. So and then the next thing I would set up maybe in the floral green is our popular Eau de Rome. And then in the third category, which is the floral oriental, is our new one, our diamond blush. And then of course the floral fruity, which is the playful one. And of course my favorite, the Paris. So, but you can put out more. Sometimes I put out at least 2 or 3 in each category, depending on how many specials we have. But if you want to make it simple, do 1 in each category. And then I also offer cotton balls. So you can always spray the cotton ball first, and then put them in a Ziploc bag and take them to the party, or take them at a tabletop display, because this way you're not spraying into the air, and then you won't bother anybody that's sensitive to fragrances. And the other thing that you can do is also spray the lid, and then this way they know they could just smell the lid, and they get the fragrance. Then the next thing I want to set up is also coffee beans. So you always want to have coffee beans available, because does everybody know why you use coffee beans? If you don't, I can explain okay, perfect. So those are the little tools that I use. And this is an old tool that we used to have, the personality, but if you don't have it, it's not a big deal. So anyways, so once I get that set up with my fragrance guide and then the 4 fragrances, or maybe you want to have a couple more, it's up to you. And then you have these already sprayed. So I always ask the guests if they would kind of look at the guide and then kind of pick out 1 or 2, or maybe they want to do all 4, it doesn't matter. But if they're going to do more than 1, they need to sniff the coffee beans between each fragrance to clear their nose. Sometimes they say to do 2 or 3, you know, then clear your nose. But I really, truly believe that you should sniff between each fragrance so you get the essence of the fragrance. So then the next thing I would tell them, has anybody tasted a fragrance before? So we're doing a fragrance tasting. Anybody done one of those before? Okay, just make sure when you're demoing a fragrance, you like the flavor. So what I do before I tell everybody what we're going to be doing, and then I'll demo how to do it, is that naturally when you spray and you're going to taste a fragrance, it will taste slightly bitter, okay, because of the natural flowers, the woods, the oils, the essential oils that are in it. You're going to get naturally a little bit of a bitter flavor. And it's not going to be, you know, sweet or pleasant to your tongue, to your taste. So that's okay. But when you're tasting a fragrance and you get a terrible, horrible, bitter taste in your mouth, and you want to rinse your mouth with water, then that would mean that the fragrance does not blend with your body chemistry. Okay? Does everybody remember that? So all I do is I just tell them, okay, pick out 1 or 2 that you want to taste, and then you want to just lightly spray your wrist, or if you've got the cotton ball that's wet enough, they can use the cotton ball and dab it onto their wrist. Just let it air dry just slightly, then lightly just touch your tongue to the wet spot. And it tastes slightly bitter, but it's not so horrible that I've got to rinse my mouth. And then they'll know that that fragrance blends with their chemistry. So, and then they go, oh, that's really different. So I always get a spark of interest when you're saying, hey, you want to have a fragrance tasting? They go, do you mean wine tasting? I go, no, fragrance tasting, right? So then you're going to go, wow, what is that? So you're introducing something that's totally different that not a lot of people are aware of, that they know how to do. And the other thing that I've done that's been super fun is actually a wine tasting, and then afterwards I follow with the fragrance tasting. So one night I had a sommelier stop over from a wine store, and he basically picked out 4 wines from different categories and different countries, and we did some tasting, and everybody just asked him a ton of questions, and then at the end we did the fragrance tasting. So that was a really fun pairing. So if you ever want to do something fun like that, and it's all you do is basically buy the bottles of wine. So, you know, it's not horribly expensive, but that's something special that you can add to. So the other thing, does anybody have a fragrance that you want to go ahead and try right now? You can do that right now if you want to. But the other thing I wanted to make sure that this is a really easy way how I demoed. So if you can have a video Zoom fragrance party. So you have a hostess, and what do they want? What do you want the hostess? You want to give her the guide and fragrance samples. Like if we have the little vials, that'd be great. But at least you know, one of those strips, perhaps. And they won't be able to taste it, but at least they'll be able to smell it. So maybe for the hostess, you're maybe there at her house, and you could do it just like what we're doing right now, and just say, okay, everybody, watch what we're going to be doing, you know, but the best way is to really do it at home or at their house so you can demo, because the tasting is pretty, you know, hard to do online unless they already have a sample of it. But if they have a sample of it, they could do that. You could send out a brochure. If you want to send out a guide, you can send out, maybe do 4 or 5, people on Zoom. And you could do cotton ball strips. You can send it out, with the monthly brochure. And you are good to go. You could just do it just like what I've done right now. You just talk it through and just say, okay, taste this. Okay, the next one we're going to taste that one and see what you want to see what the difference is. Something that you notice that is slightly bitter or terribly bitter. So in this way, they'll go, oh, and it's on sale and it tastes good. I will buy it, right? All right, any questions? I guess we'll go ahead and let Donna take over. Unmute.
Linda, go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
There you go.
There you go.
Gina, hi. Can
Donna,
you
just a second. Yeah. Go ahead, Linda. Sorry.
the little fragrance strips that we have? Can
Yes.
you use that for the tasting? Like just rub it on your skin and then.
I don't think that'll work. If, for instance, cotton ball, you can kind of saturate it, put it in a Ziploc bag. They're light enough to mail, and then hopefully it'll still be saturated enough they could dab it onto their wrist and then taste it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I know that the strips and even the liquid samples, they don't have the exact same scent as the actual bottle. It's very, very similar, but as far as tasting, I don't know that that would work. I really like the idea of soaking the cotton balls though, because you can even buy little tiny Ziplocs at Michael's.
The half a bag.
Yeah, like little tiny ones, so that there wouldn't be a lot of air in there to suck out the moisture, and Ziploc it and send it, and it should, it seems like it would work.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can be creative and do whatever you like. Another thing, you could sample them too that way and say, you know what, write a little card and say, hey, you want to know the best fragrance for you? Taste it.
That's awesome. All right, let's let Donna do her section, and then we'll go back and go round robin if we need to.
Okay, thank you, Gina. That was great. I'm Donna Hayes from right outside of Raleigh, North Carolina, and kind of tweaking a little bit. Fragrances is kind of my weak area. I wear, but I'm not a big fragrance person. So it's always been in my 32 years. I've never sold too much fragrances. So I'm going to try to start working it in with some ideas that Gina had. And the first thing that I'm going to do is start with my existing clients and ask them to share what is their favorite product. And sometimes I know. And just for example, I might call Mary. Hi, this is Donna. How are you doing? I know you enjoy the Tender Moments. I always try to take something that's on special, the Tender Moments products. How would you like to receive yours free? And usually she'll say yes. And how? Maybe, would you like to share what you have? Or I can bring by a sample if you want. Share the products with people. And when you get 5 orders, you can get yours free. Or if it's more pricier, you adjust what you want to do. Maybe half price or whatever's going to work good for you on that line. And what I am going to do, and I had a party Friday night. I haven't had a party in I don't know how long, and it's been a long time. And I went, okay, I can do this, and I did. And it was 2 people plus the hostess, and it was over $300, so which is good. And when I go back and do the delivery on this, I am going to start doing with all the orders that when they place an order with me, they can get a fragrance at whatever, whether I'm going to do half price or at a certain percentage off, because I really want to start selling some fragrances. So I'm going to kind of do that. When the hostess is that, if she's basically, we call it an outside order hostess, book hostess, the old folder that we have all the information in it, the books, the fragrance guide, also have an outside order form that I did up. So if anybody wants that, we can actually have 3 people put in what they want. So you don't want to give them the regular order form because you'll never see them again. So you can kind of do that, or they can order through your website. So whatever works good for you to try to get the orders. I also have the hostess brochure. So if she ends up going over to level 1, 2, or 3, she can be a hostess, just like having a home party. She can also be a hostess that way too. And what do you think right there? You have a good potential consultant right there, because she's done everything that you have done. And the other thing is, you mentioned, Lori, the small little Ziploc bags. Go to Michael's, AC Moore, go in the jewelry section where they have to put the little beads in it. That's where, and I put like the eye capsules or retinol and things like that. So and you can just write on the bag what fragrance it is. So that's a good thing. Also put some fragrance strips in there, whatever you can give her to kind of help doing that. If somebody's starting out new and don't have much, like a product, just take a product from your kit. If, whatever you want to do, or ask your manager if they would loan you a product or just replace it when you place your order. So everybody's always helping there to help you get started on there too. One thing I loved when I lived up in New Hampshire, came in contact with somebody that worked at Verizon and went into the big Verizon where they made everything there for all the phones and things like that, internet. And they actually sponsored a shelter for women. And so they're always looking for vendors to help give back for charities. And there's a lot of companies that are around that will let you go in and share the product with them. So first, again, start with your clients. Ask them who work. Does your company support a charity? I'd love to come in and share JAFRA with them during your lunchtime. And how I approach it, I usually ask them to give me the HR contact information, let her know that I'll be calling them in a day or two, and just offer them an employee appreciation lunchtime. And it's a way for the employer to say thank you to the employee at no cost to them. So I usually kind of work it from 11 to 1, 11 to 2, whatever's going to work good. And I like to be where it is accessible to a sink. A lot of times I've been like in a lunchroom. So there's always people coming back and forth. I've got a small display. And so what I do is like to do like the back of the hand facial. I used to do that a long time ago, quickly. And then I would I love my ginger sea salts body scrub. But again, you can take the JAFRA Spa, the 3 products that are on special this month, or the new Terra One, whatever you like, because you're going to share with people what you like. You're going to be sincere, and it's kind of come across that way. So after I do the back of the hand facial, I then would do the ginger sea salt, send them to the bathroom, or again to the sink to rinse it off. Then they would come back. I would take the raw jelly body complex because I want to book parties and things like that, and do the hand massage. And I think a lot of us that have been around for a while, we've got the old spa hand massage, and if anybody wants that, I can send it to Lori, can do that. There's 8 steps, and it's just so relaxing. I've even had men come up and want me to massage their hands. So they really, and sometimes they'll get it for themselves, and sometimes they'll buy products for their wife and things like that. And then again, we're focusing on fragrances, and that's a product line. I want to open my store big time to that. So I'm going to start again introducing, bringing fragrances to that. The big thing to keep in mind, they are at lunchtime. So keep it short and sweet, keep it simple, and have fun. Each company too, again, they always liked me to give 20% back. They have a standard. A lot of them, you decide whatever you want to give back as a fundraiser and things like that. They can order through the website. I usually like taking the order because then I like going back in a week or 10 days and hand delivering everything. So it's another way in. And then there's some people that go by and they don't have time to stop, but they're interested. Make sure you get all your information, books, business cards and things like that. And I also had a sheet where people could sign up every time I did the hand massage on them, so I could follow up the next day, thanking them for stopping by. I enjoyed meeting them, and if they ever have any questions, follow up, or thank them again if they did place an order, and you helped whatever charity it was and appreciate it. So basically, that's kind of it, I think. And again, you've got people, right there, the opportunity of talking, sponsoring and things like that. So, okay, go ahead, Gina. Do you have a question?
Hold on, I want to unmute you. There you go, Gina.
Did you want me to share your outside order form?
It's up to you. Yeah,
Okay, I can.
yeah. And then did you get the other one, the hand? That was really faded. I realized that's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I think, Lori, don't you have that in your docs?
The old hand massage, 8 steps.
The hand massage?
It depends on what it looks like. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
and I might have the original upstairs. Well, I thought I had it.
I also have, after you guys share this, I was going to go back. I have the slides from Believe about fragrance percentages. I wanted to put those on screen so people can look at it later. And Linda could even touch base on that again if she wanted to. And then I also have the fragrance brochure that you were showing, Gina. I have that digitally also.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So that people can see what you guys were referring to.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I love when I started going off in Verizon, and then I actually in their bathroom, I was in their bathroom, I don't know how many times ladies want to do, I always called it the stress release foot soak.
Mm-hmm.
It made their bathroom smell wonderful, you know, but they would come in and I'd bring the buckets and I'd do 4 or 5 ladies at a time, you know, they would do their own feet. I mean, the sales in that were phenomenal. I mean, it just kind of, I'm still getting orders from people up there, but there's always an opportunity if you can get into the businesses.
And Gina,
Sometimes
we're not seeing anything but lines.
Oh. What am I doing wrong?
Try hitting stop share and then share again and make sure that it's selected on desktop so that.
Okay. Oh, instead of the whiteboard? I'm sorry. I took the wrong thing. Okay. I got it. Okay. I will share screen and you want desktop. Sorry. Yes. There you go. Can you see it now?
Yes. That's okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Oh, this is great. Very cool.
Kind of had to cut and paste and redo the bottom part.
No, it's great. I like it because it's like you said, it's something simple. It's not the double.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
This way, then you put it on your regular order form because they disappear and things like that. So it makes it, even when the hostess folder, when you have a party, put it in the hostess folder too. You know, try to get outside orders. So,
Yeah. If you want to send it to me, or one of you guys could upload it too if you want to the group, if you want to.
That I don't know how to do. I could send it to you, but
okay, send it to me. Cool. Did you have something else to share, Gina, on the sharing screen?
No, that's it. I'm done with that. So, Donna, you're going to forward that to Lori, correct?
Yep, will do.
All right. Awesome. So we'll stop the share.
And really quick before I share the screen that I was going to share, Kay, I'm going to unmute you. Did you have a question? Because you have your raised hand.
No, it was answered. It was about the coffee beans.
Awesome.
But she covered it. Thank you.
Awesome. No problem. I just wanted to make sure you got your question answered. And Maria, you had your hand raised too. Did you get your question answered?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Okay, I'll just mute you again when you remember your question. Just unmute yourself and ask it when there's a little spot.
I do want to
I have to figure this out.
Okay.
Oh, I'm unmuted. I really didn't have a question. I was just raising my hand. I hadn't figured out how to chat yet, and now I've got that figured out. So, I was just raising my hand to say I liked what was being done.
Very cool. I know, that was great. It's a lot of really good information tonight.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So I'm gonna share. So Linda, I don't know, where did you go? Oh, there you are. It's like yours. Everybody keeps moving around because when people turn their screen off and on, it's like moves everybody. Like, where'd everybody go? Okay, so I have this. You were talking about your what it was made of and the percentages and stuff. So I just wanted to show this so you guys, those of you who are watching the recording, or if you are watching it again back, you can kind of see what she's talking about. And Linda, if you wanted to say anything else about this, feel free to unmute yourself. I don't know. Now that I'm sharing my screen, you're not right there. Let's see. Nope, you're there. You're open. So this is basically what Linda was saying about the different types of of perfume and cologne and the percentages and how that makes a difference in the scent. And then the next one, I honestly don't remember if you covered this. I think you did. Okay. So this is an explanation of what top notes, heart notes, and base notes are. So you guys can kind of have access to that as well. And the other one, and this was the guide. This was kind of a reason to have the guide. And because in the guide, which I'll show you, this is what Gina was showing you guys. I'll actually go back to the first part of it. So it shows the men's fragrances, but as you can see, it's showing you what type they are. So if someone says, oh, I like woody fragrances, it's right there. It says woody, and that's what they are. It's very clear. And it really gives you an idea of what we have under those sections, because some people kind of have an idea of what the smell is that they like, but they don't necessarily know what, by looking at it. And then here, again, it kind of talks about the different types: oriental, citrus, woody, and I don't even know how to say this word. Is it fougere?
Fougere.
Fougere?
Fougere. Fougere.
Yeah. So that's, shows you the top, heart, and base notes of those types too. So it kind of gives you an idea. If someone says, well, I like someone that's kind of lemony, well, you can kind of look around and find one that has lemon. We've got some in the citrus, all that. So it's very cool. And it's just a little fold, just like the Royal Jelly brochure. And you can set it up on a table if you're doing a fragrance, like Gina was saying. Again, here's the girls sections. You've got the 3 here, and then the next page, it shows the other ones, all listed by type. It's very, very, very useful. I love it. Because I don't know all this stuff off the top of my head. There's so much in there that it can be quite overwhelming. So that's what I had to show you to go along with what the girls were showing you. Thought it might help a little bit to have a little bit of visual. So now, you guys, it's question and answer time. So you feel free to unmute yourselves, ask questions. The girls are here to answer. Go, Gina.
I just wanted to share, so sponsoring, I have sponsored quite a few ladies with just fragrances, because you have to really love fragrances. And we offer so many, so you never want to, especially with somebody is sniffing every bottle I have, and I say, would you like to be a fragrance consultant? So right off the bat, that's what they want to do. And they love it. And so don't, keep that in mind. There's always somebody out there that's going to enjoy just being a fragrance consultant.
I love that.
They will share JAFRA's fragrances, and get their savings, plus make money with it. So just want to add that in. So don't forget, fragrances is a big part. It's part of our 4 categories, our 4 stores. So yes, I do sell a lot of fragrances. I like selling them. It's easy. Mm-hmm. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention. So I do actually, when I do display more than just one of each category, because it's all about the eyes. It's eye candy. So when you see a bottle that's so pretty and it draws your attention, that person gravitates to that. They don't even know what category it's in. They just go right to that bottle and they go, oh, then they'll smell it. They'll smell the cap or they'll smell the cotton ball. So that's another thing too. I always have full-size fragrances, because it really, especially when you're doing a party or you're offering it along with a spa party or a makeup party or whatever, even a skincare, always have a full-size bottles if you've got them, because that's what sells. It's the look, and they spend a lot of money, designing these bottles. And that's what is very attractive, and it draws people's attention. And I swear, when I have bottles out all the time at my tabletops, they'll just grab a bottle, and everybody always grabs a different one. So anyway, another tip for you.
Does anybody have any questions? You're welcome to unmute yourself and ask away or share experiences. That's what we're here for.
What are your best sellers?
What are my best sellers?
Yes.
I would say the Vesson people really love. During when the Paris first came out, that was a big hit. Sold a ton of that. And then I've sold quite a bit of the blush. So, and believe it or not, Adderese is kind of a popular one.
Huh.
Yeah.
Even in the summer, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. And no men's fragrances?
Oh, I do sell quite a bit of men's fragrances, but if I'm doing a party, I do put out a few fragrances of the men's too. And because women always choose the fragrances for the guys.
Right.
So, yes, I do display the men's fragrances. And again, I don't really have them taste this part because they're not putting it on themselves, but they do get to experience it with the scent. So, yes, absolutely. I always have a few of the men's. And the Navigo Ocean has been a super, super popular one. I sold at least about 6 or 8 of those. So
I always take my husband's bottles out of his bathroom because he's got like 5 or 6 of my favorites, and I'll take them and I'll say, these came from the counter in my husband's bathroom because I love these, so you guys got to smell these. They're like, oh my gosh. So, but it's just kind of funny. And then one time I forgot to put them back. He comes downstairs, he's like, where is my cologne?
yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta put them back. You gotta put them back. Gotta keep the husband. Frank Day said you gotta keep the husband happy. So put those fragrances back.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention was that I get, when I do my tabletops, I say, well, how many fragrances do you have when they're experiencing the fragrances? They go, oh, 1. I said, you must have at least 3 or 4 or even more, because like Linda mentioned, it's an accessory. Okay, you don't want to smell the same or look the same. Would you want to wear that blouse 2 days in a row? No, you want to change your fragrance as well. So treat it like an accessory, and you yourself should do the same. So when you wear different ones, you'll go, oh, I like this. It exudes such an emotion, such a mood, and it always enhances the mood as well. So always, when I talk with somebody and they only say they only have 1, I really encourage them to get one, at least another one, because that is the trend, to have at least 6 or more.
I was at a training once. I think it might have been a JAFRA conference or something, and they said the girl who was talking about fragrances said that when you use just one, like your nose gets so used to it that you start putting more and more on because you can't smell it the same, and then you end up stinking because you can't smell it, but everyone else is like, whoo, that's a lot of
Yeah.
So if you kind of mix it up with, that's why a lot of people have been wearing the same one for 30 years. They're wearing so much because they don't smell it the same way anymore.
Exactly.
I thought that was really interesting. It's like that's another reason to mix it up and have multiple fragrances so that you don't get to that position where you can't even smell yourself anymore and you're stinking everybody out of the room.
Exactly. Well, that's what I said. The person that loves fragrances, they would make a great fragrance consultant, because they will want to have all the fragrances, plus be able to have the different ones, and they're going to encourage all their clients to get more than just one, because
They got hit in some of the department stores going up to those people that sell fragrances.
Yes.
And spray them back because they're always spraying you.
Going in with the fragrance guide to show them what we have for options. And ask, how would you like to make 50%? I'm sure they don't make 50% at wherever they shop, wherever they're working.
That's right.
That's true. It's true.
Lori, I have a question. I'm sorry, Donna.
No, that's fine, Sharon.
Okay. There was a fragrance. I had a lady that loved this. We don't have it anymore, but it was Clarissa. It was in a pink bottle.
Yes. Yeah.
That smells so good. I wonder if we could all write to JAFRA Cares and they bring it back. I just thought it was such a wonderful fragrance. And one of my customers, she's very sensitive to smells. She don't like smells, but that was the one fragrance she really liked.
I probably have a bottle if she needs one.
Are you talking about this one that's right here?
Yeah, I thought we still had it.
Yeah, we have it. But it's just out every once in a while. It's not out all the time.
Let's see. What can I see it again? Could you hold it up again?
Let me see if I can get you the digital one.
See it?
Does anybody know the name of the fragrance house?
There's 3 of them. I know that.
It was Clarissa. It had like a little sparkle on it. It was pink. It was like a deeper pink.
Wasn't it for the young teens or the younger?
No.
No.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get one. I'll get it.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yes, it's a dark pink one. Yes. I don't have any more. Yeah, they discontinued that one. You're right. Yes.
Yeah, you're looking at
Sarissa, yeah. I was looking at Cerisi. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it out on WhatsApp, Sharon. Someone might have some.
No, that's Glamise.
Oh, Glennie. Okay.
Yeah, it's gone too. We're all just running to find our stash of.
I know exactly what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Gina, you said something about having the full-size bottles out on your tabletop. It's so true, because we have such elegant bottles that a lady had shared that she was more citrusy, you know, likes all the citrus kind of fragrances, and yet she grabbed from the floral because of the bottle.
Correct.
So, same like the bags that we have, you know, oh, I have to buy this because, you know, we just present well.
Well, you got to think about it, you know, when you're displaying, it's what catches your eyes.
Right.
That's true.
Catches your eye first, and then you go, and then they start smelling, you know. I mean, that's how it is.
I'd like to have this on my dresser, and then you pick it up and you're like, oh yeah, I really do like it.
Yeah.
Linda, what house are you saying that is? I don't know how to say that.
This is notes from when we introduced, let's see. When we introduced Best in Life.
That's when I heard it.
The fragrance houses, that's the name they gave us.
Givaudan, is that how you say it? Maybe? Givaudan?
I don't know.
That's how it's spelled. That's how I'm saying it now.
My notes say it's a world leader perfume house.
Well, I know that we use the top 3 perfume houses in the world. So, I mean, I can say that confidently because I remember that.
Right.
And they've said that before in training.
Yes.
But yeah, I didn't know what the names were.
I believe one is called something international. I can't remember the name of it, but
we should write JAFRA Cares and ask them for those names.
Yes, exactly. I don't.
That would be good.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to really want to know all that. They're just going to look at the bottle and
smell it.
There's always one in the bunch, so trust me, somebody's. Gina, is this the one that you were talking about, making reference to?
Yeah.
No, it's not in the book, Sharon. It's that has been discontinued. That's Clarissa. Yes.
That's the one you're looking for then. Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, if I could get one, but you know, I just when they were oohing and on over it, then it, you know, made me want to try it, and I loved it.
It's a cute bottle, at least.
Does anybody else have any questions? Anybody?
Lori?
Yes.
This is Helen.
Yes.
If you have, or anyone on the phone, on Zoom has a friend who has a baby, the baby food jars for meat are smaller, and you can get those, spray the tops of them, you know, with white or gold or whatever you want to, and then put on the top of it what that fragrance is. And because it's glass, you spray your cotton balls and put it in that, and it will never change, and you can keep it for a long period of time.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. That's a very cool tip.
Very nice tip.
So all of a sudden, all the baby food jars on the counter will be gone. Thank you, Helen.
But you know what? If you put it in plastic bags, the plastic will change the fragrance.
Right. They're porous.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But if you're shipping it out for just, to be used in the next couple of days, yeah, they should be okay.
I usually just put it in aluminum foil.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
interesting. So you put it on the cotton ball or whatever, and then in aluminum foil and send it?
Yeah, and just, make your aluminum foil real small, like 2x3 or whatever, and fold it up, and that keeps it smelling nice too.
Oh,
And then
Okay.
once they
Good to know.
Okay.
once they get it, to stick the cotton ball in their bra, and it will stay fragrant for a couple days.
so they don't have to shower for a couple days? Just kidding. Don't tell your clients that.
La 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 la.
Yeah.
There's one more thing that I keep remembering when Helen said something about the baby jars. How many of you do you sell baby fragrances?
A lot.
A lot, yes.
Interesting.
Don't forget, that is a really big market.
Yes.
Don't forget to mention they're alcohol-free. Our baby fragrances are alcohol-free. So that's a big plus. It's not so in our adult versions, but the baby ones are alcohol-free. So, and everybody loves it that way, and they like the baby to smell, fresh like that. They do, but it's just fun. It's just kind of a novel gift, especially with baby gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So always suggest a baby cologne.
Love it. That's it's good to remember that tip about alcohol free, because that would be something that mothers would be concerned about, because they would assume it was in it just like theirs,
Yes, exactly.
Good reminder. Awesome. Anybody else? Questions, comments? Good job, comments. You guys did great. I love it. I love all the details and all sometimes it's we just talk generally about fragrance, but I love how much detail you guys went into and how specific you were with your training. I think it was wonderful. Very well done. Love it. You guys rock, which I knew you would.
I was thinking too is we could email, Facebook, text, whatever, the fragrance guide to all the clients and asking them to pick out 2 or 3. Since you have a lot of distance clients too all over, that you could send it to them in the mail and then do a special with them. That's a nice way for loyalty, thanking them. We're all looking for summer fragrances too.
Well, that's a good idea. Here's another thought. You could do, feature your special fragrance of the month and say, I noticed that you purchased on my website. Here's my special, and it's my fragrance of the month, and offer them, the cotton ball or whatever you want to ship it out, and maybe a little bit about the fragrance, explaining it, and then give them the special that you want to offer. So that's just another little extra that you can always offer. I mean, with my online clients that placed orders, I send them a gift certificate, a thank you card. And I said, thank you for placing your order online. Here's a $10 gift certificate off on your next $40 purchase. And that is good for 2 months or a month and a half, depending on when I send it out. So, and then you could do the same thing, add a fragrance, special. So if you want to encourage fragrance selling, always include that in there.
There's a couple questions in the chat.
Okay.
One question was, how do most of you handle your shipping charges? And that was from Sandra. I don't know. I'm going to unmute you, Sandra, just for a second, see if you can talk. Can you talk?
Yeah, I can talk.
What was that exactly, like shipping charges in general or with fragrance?
I loved, Donna had that sheet that was for outside orders.
Mm-hmm.
And at the bottom of it, it shows the amount, the shipping, the tax. And, I've just had trouble with that. I've always kind of forgotten to ask about that. I know in the past, when I was in before, we did 10% for the whole thing, and that covered tax and shipping. I'd like to use that outside order sheet. Since it's there, I probably should know what I'm going to do with that.
Sandra, a lot of times, and when I always, even in client order forms at a party, if I'm going to be delivering them and things, I always just charge a flat fee of $4.
Okay.
So at a party, and it covers my costs. And a lot of times when my tax accountant always said, you always make money on your shipping, don't you? You know, so it overs the books and other thing, and maybe gas, you know, so it all depends on
Okay.
but you have to decide what works good for you, how far you have to go or whatever. So, but I always usually put it in so then they know that's what it is.
Okay, good. All right. Because I just didn't know if everybody was kind of using similar stuff that I wasn't really aware of right now or what.
Yeah. And obviously if they go through the website, they pay those prices. So.
Right, exactly. Okay, thank you so much.
Sandra's question sparked a question for me. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to send this to you, Gina, because you sell the most fragrance. I guess it would be a good idea, it would be a good opportunity for people who want to buy fragrance to buy from our website, because you can't ship fragrance through the mail.
Right.
So what do you do?
What do you do at the post office when they ask you?
Well, you know, this is the joy of it all. I use priority mail, and I just put it in there, and I print my own stamps. And the postman picks it up, and I have never had anybody ever return.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
This is Evelyn. You really
Stamps.com.
Yeah. This is Evelyn. You can ship. They just need to know, because they want to process it differently.
Yes.
And Gina, be careful, because you can get in trouble by not disclosing that you have fragrance, because they do ask and you do have to sign or push a button or whatever. But they need to know, just because they need to have it processed differently. I've asked that question a few times because
Thank you.
I have shipped. But they'll just handle it differently. No worries. You are allowed to ship it.
Okay.
It's flammable and it has to be shipped by surface. That's what I was told at my post office, and they always ask, and you have to press yes or no.
Right.
And if you don't, and UPS and FedEx, it's the same way.
Mm-hmm. They just send it ground instead of air. That's
right. Yeah, it's always by air, by ground. Where does it say on these boxes that you have to say that it's?
They say when you're going to print your labels, it says there you have when you check the box that says
where you're printing.
Yeah.
Yep. I just had a recent experience at the post office. I was mailing some fragrances to another state, and I checked. Well, yeah, I do have some perfumes in there, and she says, "You have colognes, right?" She kept saying that. If the perfume is stronger, apparently there's a difference. If it's I don't know if it's the real
perfume is flammable.
Then they say
and cologne's not.
That's what she said. This is the lady at the post office.
Strange.
Because I told her, and I said, "Well, I have cologne." She says, "This is not a perfume inside, right?"
Huh? That's interesting.
Making sure this is what she told me. So I'm like,
that's interesting.
The fragrance that I was sending wasn't the perfume, and I says, "Well, no, I don't have a perfume." She says, "Oh, okay." That's what I was.
Okay.
Interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah, because I was told that they have to drive.
At the post office, the sign says it does state specifically perfume. You know, so I don't know, but I always let them know. Yeah, I do have a fragrance in there, even if it's, you know, small, no matter how small. And I asked, I was shipping some within the state. And they said, we just need to know, because like you said, like Evelyn stated, they just need to know how to process it. It's going to be sent differently, you know, by ground or something. I don't know.
Right, by ground. Yeah. Yeah.
So So you can ship it. It may take a little longer.
Right.
But yeah, it's possible. Just let
when Angelo and Scott came up to Boston, they did a big long training on fragrances, and the perfume has the eau de parfum has a higher concentration of the essential oils than does the cologne or the eau de toilette. And that's why there's a difference in cost, you'll notice, in the fragrances in our catalogs. The ones that are eau de parfum have higher concentration, and they reflect it in the price. So that was interesting to me, because I always wondered why some of our fragrances are so expensive and so some are much lighter. And the difference is, one is like toilet water versus, and I don't mean out of the toilet, but it's not the same concentration, and it's a eau de toilette and eau de parfum and eau de cologne are different. So there you have it. So you might want to aim towards some more expensive ones if you're going to market them, because they do last longer, and obviously you have a better profit.
So probably not refer to it as toilet water. That's probably not a good selling point.
Well, eau means water, and eau de toilette. It just.
I know, but it sounds way more. It's way more fancy to say toilet instead of toilet water.
Eau de toilette.
I love you, Debbie.
That was the old term. Toilet water.
Yeah, I know.
The old term.
I know.
Yeah,
I can tell you, my clients would not think that was something they want to spray on themselves.
No. Eau de toilette. Eau means water, and I speak French, so it's like sticks in my head.
Oh, you're
I'll take 10 of those toilet waters you have.
Go with the cologne. Go to the perfume. But that could mean that.
Who is that?
Your phone's cutting out, Debbie. We can't hear you. We can hear sounds, but we can't hear what you're saying.
Lori?
Yes. Hey, Helen.
I do a lot of shipping, and the lady at the post office told me that whenever I ship anything that's liquid,
the cologne,
put it in a
yeah
first. And so I just go to the Dollar Tree store and I buy the zip lotion, whatever it is, and I put it in a plastic bag and seal it up, and then put it in your packaging.
Helen, can you repeat that last part, because the one of the cell phones was interfering with what you were saying? Can you say it again?
Sure. I do a lot of shipping, and the lady at the post office told me anytime I ship anything that's liquid, like almond oil or lotion or the shower gels or anything, to always put it in a Ziploc bag and close the bag. So I just go to the Dollar Tree store and I buy the Ziploc bags from there, and then I put the product in, seal it up, and then if it does leak, so what? It's inside the plastic bag.
I wish JAFRA would do that.
You're right. Yeah, just add that to your process, JAFRA. Want everything in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
And then I use the bottom bubble paper that comes in the boxes, and then I wrap with the bubble paper.
Yeah, I know that the post office, I will specifically say, they'll say like, do you have any lotions, oil, whatever. And I'll say, yep, and they're all in Ziplocs. Oh, okay, great. And then there's just no more question. They don't, I volunteer the information, and, they don't worry about it. They're worried about it leaking out onto other products, or if it's up, because, like our old makeup bottles used to leak in the air. Remember? So it's like the same idea. If a bottle expands or contracts because you're going in cold and hot in an airplane, and then especially with priority mail, then that's what they're concerned about, is it's going to leak. So if you tell them it's in a Ziploc, and and it is, obviously, then it will stop that from happening, even if it does happen in the air. So that makes them feel better about shipping it by air if you're doing priority mail.
And also with your priority mail, all the boxes are free, which is wonderful. Saves you a lot of money. And they also will do labels for you with your personal name and address, everything on it for it too. And all of that's free.
It's pretty cool.
Does everybody know about regional shipping?
No.
Yes.
Yep. That's what I use. Regional.
You should share about that. I remember you sharing about that when I did a video one time or something.
Let me see. Regional A, and then there's Regional B. No more Regional C. They discontinued that as of 2016. So it saves you about, oh gosh. And it goes, it says here up to, where does it say on here? Forgot. 15 pounds. Like the Regional A is 15 pounds. And I'll ship it clear to Washington State. And it's about $9. So I think it saves you anywhere from $2 to $3,
yeah,
as opposed to the other shipping. But you can only order those boxes through your United States Postal supplies. They are free.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get them at the post office. So you have to order these. They get delivered to you, and they are free. So that's another way that I use to save a
And
little
you
bit.
have to print the postage. You have to print the postage at home.
Yes.
On those.
Yeah, I
And you
print
just
the
take them
postage.
and get them at the counter.
And actually, you know, that when you print your own postage, like if you were going to print, you know, it's 49 cents to mail a letter. I believe it's 46 cents through it's 46 or 47. It's a couple of cents less to print through stamps.com. But you do have to pay your monthly fee. So it depends on how much you're sending out. You know, you got to kind of weigh to see where your costs will be.
Yeah.
And another thing, when you're ordering, go ahead and order the padded bag, the priority mail padded bags. Those are free.
Yeah.
And boy, you can stuff so much in there, and it's flat $7.20, and you can send it anywhere.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. They have everything. I mean, you know, my husband works at the post office, so I get a lot of things. I said, just send them there, and I said, pick up this and that for me. But the regional ones, you do have to order those.
And
so Gina, is there a benefit to regional versus priority mail?
Yes.
Yes, it saves you quite a bit, and it might get there maybe a day later.
So is it by weight then? I'm assuming.
It's size and weight. So like the Regional A,
mm-hmm.
you can ship up to 15 pounds.
Right.
And it has to fit in here. You know that ad, if it fits, it ships.
Right.
Okay. So that's what those are.
And so that's $9 versus about 13 or so on priority. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
And it depends on the region too.
Yeah, it's still
geographic.
It's still priority.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just maybe a day, a little bit takes maybe an extra day. But
it doesn't matter where you're sending it?
No, it depends on, like, if I send it here from Rochester to Minneapolis, then it's like $6.50. But if I'm shipping it to Washington State, it's about $9.50.
Okay, so it's by where it's going and weight.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
Gotcha.
At the box, basically, it goes by the box,
okay.
A or B.
So what? And the difference between A and B is
the size.
Okay.
It's the zip code. So when you go to USPS.com, if that's the way you buy your postage, you put in the zip code that it's going to, and it determines which, if it's A or B, and it tells you the postage and prints the postage, and sometimes it's really hard to find.
It's really what?
Sometimes I get very frustrated with printing the postage at home because it isn't, something goes wrong, and I take it to the post office finally after spending 20 minutes trying to print the postage and say, you know, I ran out of time, and they say, we hear that a lot.
Oh,
so,
well, I just use stamps.com, and I've never had a problem. So,
yeah.
And if I don't use it, I can get my e-refund just like that.
Yeah.
So it's really a nice service. So if you do a lot of your own shipping, you know, which we used to do, I may not do as much as I used to, but that's a really nice extra. It saves you from going into the car, driving down to the post office.
Yeah.
Saves you a ton of time.
Standing in line.
Yes, those long lines.
Just
and I'll tell you, you know why? Because
but you could also squirt people.
What's that?
You could also squirt people in line.
Yeah.
Try this.
With toilet water.
Yeah. The post office can't hire enough people to work. Okay, that's why. Okay.
Would you like
That's
to smell
awesome.
some toilet water? That's funny.
Oh, goodness. So there was a lot of comments saying how awesome you guys were, or are, I should say, just so you know. There was one comment from Esther about pictures, and I get this question a lot, so I'm going to say it while we're recording. How to get the picture like I just did on my screen. And basically, the way you do it is you have to have at least a free account with Zoom yourself. You don't just, like, you have one set up with them, and then you can change your profile picture under my profile on zoom.us. So once you have set up a profile or an account with them, and you can do the free level, which I think is called basic, and that's totally fine. But that way, when you click on stop video, it will show your photo instead of showing just your name in black and white. So it's a little bit nicer, and it doesn't cost anything to have an account with Zoom, unless you want to do the pro account, which is $14.99 a month. But you can do the free account and have your profile picture and be able to do it. So the main difference is if you want to host a meeting, you can only go for about 40 minutes. So with a pro account, I can have as many meetings during a month. I can have them as long as I want. I guess how I could record Ignite meetings for 3 hours.
More flexibility.
And yeah, you can have as much as you want. And then you can have up to 45 cameras. And then if you go up to the bigger paid accounts, which we now have because of Jackie, then that's different. And that can go much more money a month. But for just a smaller, for a leader, I would suggest the $14.99 a month because it gives you a ton of flexibility and unlimited meetings and unlimited time. For someone who's just getting started with Zoom, even some leaders don't do long meetings, and if that's the case, a free account works perfectly. So I would start with a free account and kind of play with it, and then you can always upgrade at any time that you want to. So, and it's immediate because you upgrade online. All right. I think
great call tonight, ladies.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the tips about spraying the hairbrush and
yeah.
All this is new to me, the tasting. And I was like, oh, wow.
Gina, you were fantastic. And Linda.
Wonderful.
Just make sure you taste a couple of them that you like. And, it's kind of fun to see if you do find one that you don't like. And then you'll go, oh, that definitely, I know the difference now. So a good taste and a bad taste. So.
I'll just have a glass of wine there or a drink.
Never mind the coffee beans.
Right. Just chew on an espresso bean right after. It'll be great.
Yeah.
I'll have my happy juice.
Yeah. All right, ladies. Thank you, Donna and Linda and Gina. You guys were rock stars as usual, and we appreciate you so much. I'm going to stop recording, and hopefully I will have the recording up a little bit later tonight if you want to share it with anybody. And thank you again. And I'll see you. Actually, we'll not see you next week because that's July 4th. So we'll see you the following week after, or not July 4th, but it's holiday week. Jackie said, no, we're not doing it on July 3rd. So if we decide to get on because we're not doing anything else and we're, missing our girls, then we'll post a little, interim meeting, but probably not on the 3rd. Well, for sure, though, the following week, I believe it's the 13th, and that's it's gonna be, I will still be down in Palm Springs area, so it's gonna be interesting, but we're gonna do it. So, all right.
Everybody have a safe 4th.
Yes.
Close out the month with fragrance.
Be in Palm Springs.
Yes.
I wish.
See you later.
Have a happy 4th, everyone.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I have to order the sunscreen to have it for the 4th for everybody.